would like to welcome to the proceedings those of you joining us on the live stream from wherever you're watching this, which is just commencing about now, and it is time to talk to our elite athletes. We've got 5 elite men with us this morning. You could call them the cream of the crop. So let me start by introducing 3 of them, who will each be available for one-to-ones afterwards at the back of the room. And for the Ethiopians, there are translators available. Firstly, sitting here at the front of the room, our runner-up here in London last year in a personal best of 2:04.49. He split ELIUD Kipchoge and Mo Farah on a sweltering day last year. It's going to be quite different on Sunday. And of course, was a battling second with a fast 2:06 clocking, and that is fast, in New York last November. Please welcome Ethiopia's Shura Kitata. We have too the world record holder, no less, at the half marathon with an amazing 58:18, taking it into new territory, frankly. In Valencia last October, he ran a personal best of 2:05 in Amsterdam back in 2017, so he didn't come from nowhere, that's for sure. And perhaps now is the time for that mark to be trimmed, perhaps substantially. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's Abraham Kiptum. And last but not least, a man making his Virgin Money London Marathon debut, although as 2017 World Championship silver medalist, he does know the streets of London. He was the Dubai winner back in 2017. He knows how to win, and he was 3rd there last year in a personal best of 2:04.06. That's quick. It's Ethiopia's Tamirat Tola. Well, I'm going to invite 2 gentlemen up here to the stage, and firstly, he needs little introduction. This man set a fine UK record last year that Hugh mentioned in those very hot conditions, far from ideal, with 2:06.21, and improved on that substantially, nabbing the European record to go with his European 1,500-metre record, and I think that is a span that is unique in continental record terms, with his comfortable-looking win in Chicago last October in 2:05.11. It's, of course, Sir Mo Farah. Say that for a minute. This is all carefully choreographed, Mo. And finally, our defending London champion, the Olympic champion, and of course, since Berlin last September, the world record holder, the one and the only ELIUD Kipchoge. ELIUD. Moody Mo, yeah, very nice. I must tell you that Mo's got to leave in about just over 15 minutes' time. He's on an incredibly tight schedule, so Mo will not be available for the one-to-ones. I'm going to chat to the boys for a couple of minutes and then open it up to questions from you, of course. So welcome, guys. Welcome back, I should say. And Mo, back to your home city. You're living in your home city now when you're not in Addis or somewhere else getting the training done. But just tell us, how do you feel about things? The last few weeks gone well?
Yeah, no, it's nice to be back in my home city. As I said, this event is a great event. I've watched it over the years, and lucky enough to run. Obviously, first time I took part was properly was 2014, and then to come back last year to finish 3rd with the British record was incredible. And this year, I'm really excited to be back again. Similar lineup, got ELIUD and the rest of the guys.
ELIUD, no man's ever won the race 4 times, so you could be the first man on Sunday if things go to plan to win London on a 4th occasion. But what about yourself? You've done no racing at all since Berlin. You keep this very low profile, just going through the same cycle. Again, tell us how you feel about the way you've arrived in London. You only arrived last night.
All has been well, and I'm appreciating I came to come back to London for the 4th time. I want to say I like London, and I'm ready to compete on Sunday.
Mo, it's only your 4th marathon. You're still learning. Chicago looked relatively easy for a 2:06 clocking. As Hugh alluded to, you were almost toying with the field. Do you feel that you're still on an upward trajectory?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm learning as I go along. Marathon's completely different to track, and since like racing against ELIUD in London, having learned the hard way, I believe that I've learned a lot. And I think each race you do get better and get a bit more experience. And going into Chicago, I knew training's gone well, and I was just enjoying it. And I think as an athlete, whatever you do, if you're not enjoying it and going out there, then it's hard to run your best. And when I run my best, it's when I'm enjoying it, when I'm happy. And definitely that was Chicago. I believe I could have gone a little bit faster, perhaps 2:04 something, but I don't know. But it wasn't about time, it's about winning the race, and it was a major marathon.
And it's not about time necessarily, is it? You're right, it's about how you feel. And the conditions were terrible for the big half a few weeks ago when you won here in London in 61:21 or something. It was really windy, horrible day. Did that tick the boxes for you?
Yeah, London was okay. It would have been nice if the condition was great, it felt great to run decent time, but you didn't need to. My coach was there, and my training partner, Bashir Abdi, was second. We do a lot of training together. And to ask to finish 1 and 2, it was great. And it was just, one of these things, tick the box, how's training, go back to the coach, 6 weeks to go, what do we need to do? Do we need to change something? How did you feel? And it ticked all the boxes, and last 6 weeks going back to Ethiopia, it's gone well. It's gone well in terms of running, but just had a couple of things other than that. In training, in terms of training, running, it was perfect. I couldn't ask for better training.
And ELIUD, when you arrived in Berlin, I mean, you obviously don't shout it too loud, but you were ready for that world record, as we saw in spectacular fashion back in late September. Have all your boxes been ticked in this build-up? Is there any one session or any one particular run that you and Patrick have done in the last few weeks that has made you think, yep, I'm absolutely ready?
I can say training has been going on well, and I normally eat ideal at times. Normally eat ideal miles in training, and I can say I'm good and I'm fit.
Mo, I heard mumblings, and of course there's more discussions to be had about the pace on Sunday. I think 61:20, 61:25 has been talked about for the lead group, which I've been led to believe might be a little bit tasty for you as a halfway split. Have you worked out carefully with Gary what the plans are for Sunday, or are you a movable feast, so to speak?
I think as an athlete, last year, as I said, it was one of these crazy things where ELIUD and the people at the front asked for the pace, and I was just like, okay, that's one. And secondly, would have thought there might be a few guys asking for slower pace. I looked around, nobody's there, so I had no choice but to go with it. And that's sometimes you have to make that quick decision, and I did that. And it was okay till towards the end. Obviously, if you go for higher pace, you do pay the price. But at the same time, I believe I've learned a lot more. I'm a lot more stronger, so we'll have the chat with my coach. I haven't not discussed with him exactly, and see what we could do. If I feel okay and things are good, then why not?
ELIUD has a very, it would seem, a very fixed cycle of preparation. Mm-hmm. I had a chat with Patrick Sang, your coach, this morning, ELIUD, saying, yep, the cycle works. We've got it pretty much nailed down. The last 12 weeks are critical, but you are still on this learning curve, far more so than ELIUD, perhaps. Have there been any changes in this build-up compared with, for example, London last year or for Chicago?
Yeah, no, definitely. As an athlete, you always have to be willing to change stuff. The goalpost always moves further. It doesn't stay the same. And with each, marathon you do, and as you get stronger, you have to change things around. You have to throw new stuff, change stuff. And me and Gary, I'm pretty comfortable where my training's at, and I feel like we've done everything we need to do. I don't think there's any more to be done or think, perhaps I could have done a little bit, or there's none of that. The last 3 months it's been okay.
Okay, on that note, I'll open it up to questions from all of you in the room. I know that there will be. There are microphones being brought around, so please do wait for the mic to be brought to you. Yes, at the back there, first of all. Have we got a mic on this? Yeah, it's just coming.
Hello, this is Mohammed Tah from the BBC. I have a question to ELIUD and another to Mo. A question for ELIUD. Are you going to ask the pacers to run a world record in the first half. And the question for Mo, how much you think the crowd would help to do better performance than Chicago?
We are still on discussion, and in 1 or 2 days we'll come up with the agreement as far as time is concerned for closing halfway.
Yeah, no, definitely. The crowd always helps me in London. They do lift you up, and I just can't wait to get out in the street. But I just go out there on Sunday, enjoy it. The work's been done.
Yes, Chris.
Chris Dennis, BBC. One for Mo. Mo, I guess the question that many people are asking is, if you were to win on Sunday and beat ELIUD, how would that compare as an achievement with your Olympic and world titles on the track?
Yeah, no, to be honest, it'd be an amazing achievement. As I said, my aim, no matter when it is to win the London Marathon one day. That is my task. But, you know, you can't take it for granted because ELIUD is a great athlete, and he's a world record, or a 2:01. So on Sunday, if I do beat him, and it can come down to that, who knows, it'd be an amazing achievement.
Yes.
Mo, when you won Chicago, you ran it kind of like a track race, and that you sort of controlled it, and then you kicked sort of the last few miles. Is that how you prefer to run the marathon? And if the winning time ends up being 2:02 or 2:03 on Sunday, do you think you can run that fast to win?
To be honest with you, Chicago was 2:05. I know I can run 2:05. I know I can run 2:04 something. But it's different. In the marathon, you have to be, you have to control, and you have to go through. And at the end, for me, it does suit me to finish quick towards the end. But it all depends on what happened in the race. And depends on what happened in the race, it changes everything. As you saw last year, if you go through so fast at first half, it's more like impossible to finish faster than what you did first half, and you do pay the price. But my aim on Sunday is just go out there and see what I can do.
Yes. Hopefully you can hear me. The mic's coming.
Mo, I just wanted to ask you this. Over the years, the British public are so used to watching you win races, like no one before, you know? And they've loved it. So many times they've jumped off the sofa. Considering that you are still learning the marathon, is it fair for people in Britain to expect you to win this weekend?
Yeah, why not? If that's what they're used to it, why not? I don't line up and go, I'm going to try and finish third or fourth. Even though I'm learning, I'll go out there and give it my best. And sometimes, you end up coming first, and it's a great result. And sometimes you are beaten by a better man, or better. Someone's done better than you, and you have to accept that and go back home and go, what do I need to do? How do I beat him? What do I need to change? And keep learning.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hello.
How do you find the motivation to keep learning and effectively start again? And what do you think will happen first? You winning a marathon or Arsenal winning the title?
It's a tough one, isn't it? We should have won last week, but hey-ho. No, the marathon's different. And as I said to you, you've got to look up to someone like ELIUD and the rest of the guys who's done amazing things for the marathon. This guy here who's run 2:01 in the marathon, has the world record.
How do you mentally approach a race when there's a man sitting next to you that you know needs to find something special beyond anything you've previously managed to beat him?
Yeah, you have to stay positive and strong, and at the same time, I think ELIUD has slightly bit more pressure, I would say, than me, even though I'm in London. But at the same time, as I believe most of my training, everything's been done. I just have to be smart in the race and give it 110%, and you will get that from me.
ELIUD, you don't look like a man who's feeling the pressure. Do you get nervous? I mean, you're a swan, so you look serene on top, but actually there's a lot of action going on underneath and panic, or do you sleep incredibly well these last 2 or 3 nights? Do you not get nervous?
Yeah, I'm a human being. That's why I normally get nervous.
You do?
Yes.
Just very good at hiding it.
Poker face.
Yes, Johnny.
Mo, do you think this is the fittest you've been for a marathon of the 4 you've run? And what else do you think you still have to learn in the marathon?
It's a good question. In the marathon, yeah, I'm fit. I'm fit, and yeah, I've done some great training over the last 3 months, and I believe I've done everything. And what am I still learning? Do you say your second question? Yeah, I'm still learning, and you only learn from races. More races you do, the more you learn. But I think I kind of learned the hard way. You know, not going into straight thinking about marathon. I just need to go to the low-key marathon where you win 2:06, 2:07, 2:08. I've gone straight in the deep end, and sometimes you learn quicker. And I believe I learned a lot from last year and Chicago and previously in 2014, where I said I'm just going to catch them up towards the second half, and that didn't happen.
Is there an element of you don't know what you don't know? In other words, you know, you might find out you're learning stuff that you just weren't aware was out there and that you needed to learn.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't aware of, in terms of, as I said, when I finished my track career, thinking I'm going to go into a marathon, just run a few marathons. I didn't realize the work and the volume and the more preparation it takes, even though you're not racing and you're not doing 15 races or 11 races in track. I do 2 races before marathon, which half marathon, halfway, and then occasionally maybe a 10K or 10 mile, depends. And but you learn. But you know, the most important thing is I'm happy and I'm enjoying. And as an athlete, as you said, if you're enjoying what you love to do, there's nothing else. You wake up in the morning, it's like
Still hungry.
Still hungry. And I've never had, to be honest with you, when I moved on and I said, I feel like more hungry, nervous, just, you know, when you just turn up for the track and it's a new, and you haven't been in that territory before, and you win it so many times, you get used to it. Now, I'm not used to that, so I feel like I got my mojo back.
Yes, okay.
Ross Powell for LBC London News. Mo, I just wanted to ask you about last year's marathon, because I've seen some interviews where you said 20 miles in, you hit the wall. You know, you really felt like you were struggling 20 miles in. I just wondered if you could sort of tell us what was going through your mind at that point, and how did you dig yourself out of it? Because lots of runners say when they hit the wall, they fold, even experienced athletes like yourself. So what was going through your mind at the 20-mile point?
So at 20-mile point, I believe it was where ELIUD slightly increased the pace to get rid of us, which is normal. And Falafel went with it, and at the same time I tried to go with it, and at that point I went with it a little bit, and I just felt tired, and in my mind and the feelings you have, I felt like I can't keep that going. I'm not going to finish if I keep that going. So you end up taking it back a nudge and just following through. But every athlete go through that, and even I'm sure ELIUD will tell you, not all his marathon, he's not felt great, but somehow he gets through it because the work you do gets you through, and mentally, all the preparations, everything you do, and that's what I was thinking at that point. I was like, I need to get through it, and somehow I got through it. But you do feel it at a certain point.
We've got to wrap very shortly. Jess, did you have a question here at the front? Just a couple more questions, I'm afraid. ELIUD is staying with us. Mo has got to be whisked off.
I just wanted to ask you both, this has obviously been billed as the big head-to-head. How much do you relish taking on such top fields and being part of them and going up against your other fellow top athletes?
No, I'm sure ELIUD would say something as well. It's great for the sports. It's what the sports need. ELIUD is a great athlete. He's a world record holder. He's won so many marathons, and I know I've won a lot of medals on the track, but it's the next chapter of my career. We're going to the marathon and learning, and I believe that I can run decent and win more major marathons.
I can say maybe getting all the top guys to compete in London is a positive thing. It's a plus the sport, it's a plus the whole fans to see that people competing, even not even competing, but participating and running in a positive way to finish the whole miles.
Okay, a final question. Yes, Chris. And then, of course, all the guys, bar Mo, are available, not indefinitely, but for a while after this.
Mo, just tell us about water bottles and drink stations. Have you sorted it out?
Elliot will tell you a little bit about how to pick it up. Just got to watch him how to pick it up. Now, last year, to be honest with you, I struggled a little bit picking up the bottles. I knew I dropped one, but early on, we had exactly the same bottles as another athlete, and we were on the same table. So for me, if the bottles are exactly the same on a similar table like this, you just end up going for one, and the one I went for it wasn't mine. And I was like, where's mine? And mine was just next to it. So I was telling the bike man to just tell me which one's my bottle. I wasn't telling him, get me a bottle and give it to me. I was just asking him, which one's my bottle? Can you point to and tell the people to just point at my bottle, or because it's exactly the same bottles next to me and I don't know which one's mine. And I believe it took a little, well, Gary reckons it took a little bit out of me, but it was fine early on. And then I knew at that point, early on, I had to tell him, because if I carry on throughout all the way to 15, 20K, you pay the price not getting that right drink.
Well, you'll get that bit right this year, for sure.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Still a learning curve. Mo, Eliud, thank you very much indeed. We do have to wrap now, I'm afraid. As I've said, the guys are all around apart from Mo. Thank you very much indeed, Eliud and Mo. Well done. And look forward to Sunday. Go on, Mo.
Yeah, and the training's gone all well and everything else, but there was just slightly bit of problem with my hotel I stayed in Ethiopia, where someone at the hotel gone into my bag, opened my bag, took my money, took my nice watch. My wife bought me a present. And just to be honest, it highly owns the hotel. And when you stay for 3 months in that hotel, it was very disappointing to know someone who has that hotel and that kind of support couldn't do nothing. And at the end, I was just like, they couldn't do nothing. So just disappointed highly, I should say.
Okay, well.
When was this?
On my birthday.